You know what? One day we're gonna let y'all know when we're going live first. One day.
It's a pop-up.
Ain't gonna be no time soon.
Hey,
We're gonna let y'all know when we're going live. All right. So for station identification, I am Wesley.
I'm Aleia.
and I'm Pam. That's me. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So yeah, we've just been doing these series of pop-ups lately, just to stay engaged with y'all. Be sure to invite someone in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and most definitely comment.
Definitely.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey, Mimi.
Hi, girl. I ain't even look.
I'm trying to share.
Yeah. Let's
Share, like and share.
let's not be guilty of asking people to do something that we're not doing. Matter of fact, I'm finna to share right now.
We're sharing.
I managed too many pages. I got like
And don't even say that about it.
I got like 9 pages on here, man. This is real.
Okay, share.
And let's see, right, post. I'll share this myself.
Y'all. Okay.
All right, so what's been going on with y'all lately, man? I think since last week. What's new with y'all?
Man, just working, trying to maintain. It's getting real out here with this COVID thing, you know. There's more and more people that I know that, you know, that are getting it. So, you know, that's a little unnerving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, these numbers just keep going up, man.
Yeah. They definitely do. What did y'all do for the 4th? Did y'all celebrate or no? We're not celebrating, right?
No, I didn't celebrate no 4th. But I tell you what though, man. Fireworks must have been buy one get 50 free.
I'm talking about, man. Y'all got
fireworks and gunshots went off in my neighborhood all night long.
Same here.
Yes.
And I'm just like, man, by the time it got 8 o'clock, I'm like, man, can I put a mute on the outside?
Right. That was kind of loud.
Man,
it was real loud.
Some of them bad boys were gunshots. Some of them were gunshots.
Man, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know whether to jump on the floor. I didn't know what to do.
And Leah thought she was back in East Macon for a second, didn't she?
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm telling you, it's a little different, but not much. You gotta, you know, it's a change in the atmosphere.
Yes. Well, I celebrate the
more. My area is very it has gotten much more diverse, which is a good thing.
Right. Well, I didn't celebrate the 4th, but I did celebrate being free from people and their opinions.
All right now.
That's the reason. Y'all don't know when to shout. Y'all don't know when to shout. When you get delivered from people's opinions about you,
yes.
Ooh, y'all don't hear me shouting.
A good friend of mine just told me that's when you know that you finna go somewhere. When you don't care about what people say no more, you on your way.
Oh yeah.
On your way.
Because see, then once you stop caring about people's opinion, you inherently lose the desire to respond to everything people say.
Woo! Say that.
Yes.
Say
that. Because whenever you have a response to what someone has to say about you, you at that point give them and their words power.
Yep.
Think about why Jesus didn't say anything on the cross.
Right.
Outside of the 7 words that he said. He never, if you notice, the only person out of all the 7 last words Jesus said on the cross, the only person he directly talked to out there was you. Everything else, all those other words were were to the Father.
Yeah, that's why I love Jesus. He was a G. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got time.
John was the only person he talked to while he was on the cross. No. I'm sorry. I'm lying. He talked to John.
Don't lie on Jesus.
He talked to John, and he talked to the person that got saved on the cross. He told him to
Get it right now. Get it right.
Other than that, yeah, I got to get my theology right. But other than that, he ain't say nothing to nobody else. He ain't say nothing to anybody that was accusing him. He ain't say nothing to nobody that was joning on him. He ain't have nothing to say to none of them.
Not joning. I ain't heard that in years.
Oh, man. He took it back then. I thought I was the oldest person on here, but okay.
Y'all know I'm in my 30s going on 60.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about this post that I had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm ready to talk about that.
That's what we want to talk about tonight, y'all. Just having a little talk about that. Y'all got something else you want to talk about? You can post it in the comments. But listen.
Okay, before we talk about that, before we talk about that, yes, when says Jesus knew his purpose, so he didn't have to say anything.
That's right.
That will preach as well.
That's right.
Before we really go into that, please, I don't live in Atlanta, so technically she's not my mayor, but I feel like she's my mayor. Keisha Lance Bottoms with the COVID.
Man, that's when you know it's getting real.
Like, man, no, especially and during the time when the city needs leadership, needs able leadership from Keisha Lance Bottoms. Like, she's since technically, I'll go ahead and say it. Since technically Macon really don't have a mayor, since our mayor's been quiet the last year and a half. Yeah, I said it.
You ain't never
I
said
feel like Keisha Lance Bottoms is my mayor. So,
okay.
So say a prayer for my mayor tonight. Say a prayer for my mayor tonight that she and her family.
Yeah.
So she has a husband, she has children, and they're gonna have to go through this with her. So yeah, please say a prayer for my mayor. Amen. All right, Aleia, what we talking about?
Okay, so the other just yesterday I posted, and as we all know in the media, we've all been following the protests and all of that stuff. So in the media, in a lot of towns, they've been taking down their Confederate statues and all things of that nature. So right here in our little city of Macon, we have our own thing going on. So I shared it was an article or a video basically talking about here for anybody who might watch it not from Macon. We have a sign downtown in our the transit authority that says it's a colored waiting room sign, correct? I know it says colored.
Yep. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna have this image on the screen very, very shortly. For those of you that don't know what we're speaking of. Let's see. It's let's see.
But I mean, in other cities, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of, there it is. A lot of people don't like that.
A lot of people
don't like that. So this is what we're talking about tonight. And I shared the article that was about this, and I was just sharing it. I didn't really think people was really going to be commenting on that, but it got several shares, and also got some engagement, and a lot of people were saying that they did think it should come down, and some said they did not. So I just kind of want to talk about what are your feelings about, should this colored waiting room be taken down? Should it be left up as a memorial to show where we've come from, or is this like blatant disrespect and it's time for this to come down? What y'all think? What's the?
Wish you want me to go first because I know you're very passionate about this.
I know
yeah. If you go to Leah's post, you'll see how I feel about it. So Pam, go first.
Okay, so I'm gonna try not to be as controversial as West is gonna get, but I feel like leave it up. It's history. Most of our parents are 70 or almost 70, so I mean that's a part of their history. And furthermore, I mean, if we just want to be honest, you know, we out here worried about protesting and fighting about statues and this sign when we on homicide number 30. Like, when we gonna stand up and protest and fight about that? Like, I mean, I think that's more important than that sign at this point. Like, when we gonna stand up as a whole for the city? What are we gonna do to come against like everything that's going on that can be controlled?
Okay, we got Quintarius Jones saying it should come down. Definitely should come down. I was not really expecting how many, you know, the amount of comments that was posted on it, and you know, Wesley.
I think that we're gonna get comfortable.
He's just about to burst.
I
keep on talking, Pam. Keep on talking. Keep on talking.
I'm just saying,
the bill for my comments. Keep on talking.
If you could say why you think, I'm sorry, Pam, excuse me. If you say why you think it should come down, and then Pam, you keep going.
Okay, well, I mean, I say leave it. Just think about if they would have tore down the King House in Atlanta. How many field trips have we been on? Well, I mean, I know I've been out there. How many field trips and family trips have we been on to the King Center? It's history. And to be honest, how many times have you been downtown and actually looked up at that sign to actually pay any attention?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me one way or another. It's history. I mean, it shows where we come from. I'm not mad. I'm not sitting in the colored waiting room now. You know, I'm good with it.
I know I would, but we're gonna say Whistler for last because we might have to shut it down after he was talking. But yeah, we actually had that conversation maybe a couple of weeks ago at my brother's house, and we were talking to my mom. Like, me personally, I felt the same way you felt, Sam, that it is a reminder of where we come from, and also like, listen, I don't know if this worked for y'all, but when I was a little kid, I ain't never want to clean up my room, y'all. I ain't want to clean up. So my mama used to make me mad. She used to, you know, get on me. Well, I ain't like for her to get on me. So she knew that she could get on me and it would make me mad, and I would actually like clean up my room. Like, I would clean up my room. I mean, she would make me. It would just like motivate me because I didn't want to hear her fussing. So it's like that kind of does the same thing for me when I see it. You know, it's a reminder of where we come from, but it also reminds me like, hey, you know, people die for this. Like, get your life together. You ain't got time to be, you know, like, I feel like I live a pretty good life. I feel like my kid goes to a pretty good school, but everybody should have the same opportunities, you know, for their children to do that. So how dare I get lazy and not feel like I still need to fight for my community just because I feel like I may have a decent life or I'm good. You know, like, it's just like that same source of motivation that my mom provided for me. Seeing things like that, listening to history, it just propels me into that, hey, I got to get schooled. I ain't got time to play. You know, I got work to do in my community. And it just kind of does that for me. So You know, that's kind of the same thing that we talked about in my family. We kind of all felt the same way. We felt like the Confederate statues and that particular sign that's on the down at the transit, we felt like it was kind of different. We felt like the Confederate statues are a little bit different. However, I was, you know, I'm always open minded, and that's why I kind of want to talk about it, just to see like why so many people feel like it should. You know, like why do people feel like that? You know, I'm curious to know. You know, like, it's not a necessarily right or wrong, but it's just I just want to know. Like before I just shut everybody down and be like, nah, no. Let me hear your point of view. Like, why do you think that it should come down? You know, so that's it. No, that's how I feel about it. I feel like it should stay up for motivational purposes, but I am curious, you know, to hear what the other people have to say about
Right. Well, looks like we got 1 come down, 2 stay up. So I mean, hey, you know.
We have let's see, one person, Melinda says it should stay up. Melinda says that it should stay up. Sonia Butt says, what do we gain from taking it down? Quintarius just left a comment. I understand the reminder, but do we really want another reminder of the unjust our country is? When Nelson Mandela became president, he wanted to change the flag because of the bad history it carried and wanted to implement a new flag to represent a new regime. I get the concept. I get the concept. I get the point of view. It's not. I definitely understand that point of view. Now I'm finna give mine.
Okay, Wesley.
All right.
Let me put this on me so y'all hear me real good when I say this. First of all,
I have a disclaimer right quick. We just want to have a disclaimer right now.
This is the part for those of you who have never seen Real Talk before. Whenever I'm giving an opinion, these two completely disown me. This is the part that disown me. Go ahead, Aleia. Go ahead.
We just have our. We don't know what he's finna say right now.
Yes, it's always the scary part.
We all gonna proceed at our own risk.
All right, great. Let me put this camera back on me. Thank you.
Right, let's do it.
All right. First of all, before I address my feelings, if you know me and you follow this podcast for any amount of time, or if you're my friend on Facebook, you already know how I feel about it. It's not a surprise to me. But before I address that, let me address something that Pam talked about earlier, when she was talking about why are we not. Yes, Stephanie, you better be ready to hear me. I'm calling some folks out on this. First, let me address what Pam said, where it concerns, why are we protesting black on black crime? One of my favorite channels to watch for whatever reason is the Investigative Discovery Channel.
Okay, Adi.
One of my favorite TV shows to watch is a show that comes on Oxygen. It's called Snapped. The majority of the time, they sprinkle some chocolate cases in there, but for the most part, when you're watching Investigative Discovery and you're watching Snapped, you're watching white collar crime. You're watching white collar killings. As we know, black people are only 13% of the population. So what you're basically seeing on the ID channel and the Oxygen channel when you watch those is white on white crime. But yet you never see any statistics about white on white crime. The media never poses white on white crime as a problem. As a matter of fact, they make TV shows about it for entertainment purposes. It's never looked at as a problem. It's looked at as science because basically, if you've ever watched any of those shows, they break down for a whole hour how the person did it. They break down the intelligence it took to do it. And I mean as cliffhangers, if you ever look at a commercial, the evidence, the whatever counterologist they have that's doing the evidence, the ontologist discovered a new result that completely shifted the case. Boom, go to commercial. And we sitting there looking to say, dang, it's okay. So what evidence are they trying to do that in? We don't look at white collar crime. We don't look at white on white crime as a problem. We look at it as science. But yet, whenever black people kill each other, it's looked at as a problem. So, or to be fair, black on black crime is looked at as entertainment on the A&E channel when we're looking at the first 48. But other than that,
let's not forget Fatal Attraction on TV1.
Lord Jesus. And but other than that, black on black crime is looked at as a systemic problem. And yet, whenever white and it's used as a scapegoat, that white people want to use as justifying killing black people. So I ain't buying this argument as far as marching on black and black crime, because I'm gonna tell you something. Anytime you watch the first 48, you watch Cops, anything that glorify that where the police are dealing with black people directly, anytime black on black crime happens, the culprit is rightly apprehended, tried, convicted, and taken to jail. The reason we march isn't necessarily because of the crime, but because they get off. When a white person unjustly kills a black person, 9 times out of 10, if they've got a good lawyer, they get off. Whenever a police officer unjustly kills a black person, they get off. That's why we march. That's why we outcry. So I ain't buying this whole argument when we're talking about why we're not marching for black on black crime. I do agree. We need to stop killing each other in our own community. But there's no injustice that happens. Justice always happens with black on black crime. That's the issue. That's number one. Let's be just in that. Now, the issue of whether or not the engraving of a colored waiting room should stay up or come down. If you know me, you already know I feel it should stay up. Now, I've been getting in debates with a couple of people online for the last 3 weeks or so about this issue. And their counter response has been something of the sort of, matter of fact, on Alea's post, a person commented saying, "Well, should we leave a black person hanging up from a noose since we're talking about preserving history?" Number one, you cannot put a dead corpse, a sign or an engravement on the same level. It is not the same thing. A human corpse is not the same thing as a sign. They're not on the same level. It's not the same imagery. It is not the same thing. That's number one. Number two, an argument I've heard lately is saying that why not take a picture of it and then put it in the Tubman so we can go to a museum and see it. Y'all good people ain't gonna like me when I say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Say it, Wes. Come on, preacher.
90% of y'all that are saying take a picture of it, put it in the Tubman, half y'all Negroes don't know what the Tubman Museum looks like on the inside.
Say it.
So say what you really want to say. Say what you really want to say. Take a picture of it and put it in a place that I'm not going anyways.
And I don't have to see it.
You ain't taking your children to the Tubman Museum. You don't know what the inside of a Tubman Museum looks like. Y'all, I'm gonna go. I'll go this far. I'm going this far. Only a certain class of black people even care enough to go to the Tubman. Half of the people that have been saying this to me, Lord, pray for me right here. Most of the people been saying this argument to me are Negroes that don't go to no museum, that have never been to a museum in their life. Y'all don't know what the inside of a museum looks like.
How
So
you know, Wiz?
what you're saying is, put it in a place where I don't have to go see it. Now, let me take myself off solo. I want to look at y'all faces when I'm saying this. Now, some of you perhaps may be thinking in your head, well, how do you feel about the Confederate statues? There's a Confederate statue in Macon. I think it's on the corner of First Street.
Cotton and something.
There's a Confederate statue. Couldn't tell you exactly who the person is, but it's darn sure a Confederate statue. I ain't got no problem keeping that up either. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because a statue does not, whether you leave a statue up, whether you leave this sign up or take it down, it really doesn't make a difference, because the mindset of those that believe in the statue and the mindset of the people that engraved that color waiting room sign on there has not changed. What we should be care about, we have bigger fish to fry than a statue and an engravement.
Yes.
We have laws in Macon, Georgia that we need to be fighting for. We need to be looking at the bigger fish. We need to be wondering why redlining is still happening in Macon, Georgia. We need to be worried about why every single thing worth doing in Macon, Georgia, you have to go to North Macon to do it. Why aren't there quality schools on any other side of town than Macon? Why are all the good restaurants? Why are all the good businesses all going to North Macon? Why does every other side of town have to spend God knows how much in gas just to go to a decent restaurant, just to go to a decent hair salon, just to basically do anything? Why is everything on one side of town in Macon, Georgia? That's what we need to be fighting for. We need to be fighting for legislation to change. But see, we marching and we protesting and all this stuff is cute, and we're spending our money with any company that's going on Facebook posting Black Lives Matter, but we're not fighting for legislation change.
Say that.
Until we fight for legislation change, I don't want to hear you say nothing about a statue. I don't want to hear you say nothing about a sign until we're actually ready to sacrifice with our pockets. Ain't none of y'all willing to sacrifice with y'all pockets. So unless you want to do that, you can keep your mouth shut.
Well, okay, Wes.
Okay then. Well, listen, I want to encourage anybody who wants to see it come down. I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all this, like, I'm not gonna cry if it come down. I mean, it's not something that I feel that strongly about. It's just something, like, I feel like it should just stay up as a memorial. But if they take it down, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. But anybody, I mean, all of the people who really feel strongly about it, then I would say, like, do what you got to do. I don't know if there's a petition going around. I know there were several petitions going around about different things in Macon for you to sign and be a part of. So if that's something that you feel strongly about, I would definitely encourage those who want to see it come down to, do that. I mean, I do think that we do have a lot of more pressing issues to fight for. But the main thing is just about, like, actually figuring out how do you actually go about making a change, like going beyond the talking, because we can talk all day about our opinion and we can agree to disagree, like, it's not, like I said, it's definitely not something I'm going to cry over, but there are many other issues that do make me sad, that do make me, that I do feel strongly about. So I would say, like, how are we going to make change? Like, I know, what's the name of the show that we were watching? I think we referenced it on the last show. I think that Pastor Louder was doing from the protest to the polls. That was really good. I would encourage anybody, if you're watching, to go and look at that, because they were actually telling you how to make it. What is the steps to actually bring about change in your community. And the number one thing, you got to get involved. You have to make a conscious choice to say, hey, like I said about my mom, she used to make me mad and get me motivated. Like we should be mad and motivated right now. We should be very mad and be motivated to actually get involved. If we don't know how to get involved, there are plenty of people or leaders in our community that we have that are putting out education, that are telling us what to do, what we need to do to get involved. So that's what I feel like. We need to get involved. If that's something you feel strongly about, you should definitely sign a petition and do whatever you need to do to actually make that happen. But the main thing is just about getting involved. I'm glad that we're having these conversations. I'm really glad that we're having these conversations. I know sometimes they get heated and, opinions get flying, but it's very good that we have these conversations. But the main thing we need to do is get involved.
Well, I just want to say, like, they worried about that sign. I guess they missed the sign that say white only. Like, it's a lot of signs, like, that are in making. Other than that one, it's actually the whites only entrance is all the same building. But I mean, what do I
know? and now that from what I understand, I don't really remember it. During this time, I never really paid attention to it during that time. But I think people were saying that when C. Jack Ellis became mayor, he uncovered that sign. It was covered up until C. Jack Ellis's term as mayor, basically because he wanted to, expose where we came from. But I mean, I kind of feel indifferent about it. I mean, I personally think it should stay up. And I also don't have an issue with taking the Confederate statues down either. Like, people are rallying to all across the country take down these Confederate statues. I get the point. I get the point behind it. It does represent a hurtful part of our history. But as the saying goes, those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it. And we as Black people, these are, I'm assuming that everyone watching now is Black, because we do cater most to an African American audience. But we as African Americans, we will get amnesia real quick. And if you want an example of that, all you have to do is look at any Black person that has reached a certain level of success and act like they didn't start from the bottom. And by no means does this does not apply to all Black people, not all successful Black people. And by no means is success a dirty word. But when you're able to live in certain neighborhoods and you have a certain amount of zeros in your paycheck, it's real easy to forget where you come from, and it's real easy to forget that they still see you with this right here, no matter how successful you are. So and the beautiful thing about what's been happening in the last couple of months, and yes, I do see, I see the horror in it, but I also see some beauty in this. The beautiful thing about this is, like I said last week, this is the most united we as a people have been in the last 60 years. And us being united, we've been able to get some stuff done. Slowly but surely, we've been able to get some legislation passed because of us being united, because of us protesting, because of us finally putting our foot down. But my prayer is that we don't allow these legislations to pacify us. We need to come for the whole cake.
Right.
We still there's still discrimination in housing. There's still discrimination in the workplace. There's still discrimination when it comes to voting. No, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, as far as redlining and gerrymandering. We still having issues with that. We still have issues with voter suppression. And what I'm talking about, these are key things right? These are key things. We're still not appropriately represented in government. We're not appropriately represented in business. And I will still say this, and I will still say this. All these cute little Black Lives Matter posts that these folks are making, these businesses are making on social media, we're still falling for the banana and tailpipe. We're being impressed because, oh, they said Black Lives Matter. They said Black Lives Matter. It's okay to shop there. But the boardroom is still all white. That piece ain't changed. We're not fighting. We're not fighting for that. So we need not be satisfied. We need not be satisfied.
Right, but as we are not satisfied, we have to be, you said, I think you touched on it earlier, we have to be united. We have to be united. And that is my petition. And I want y'all to sign it right now. You need to go in the comments and sign my petition and just be like, yes, Aleia, we need to be unified. We need to come together and be unified. And that's one of the things that we were even talking about at church, even like having these conversations. Yeah, we might disagree on whether that statue should come up or should come down, but hey, we need to be having forums. Like, we need to get together, we need to be unified, and we need to put these issues on the table like they do in the commissioners meeting, like, okay, these are the issues at hand, and this is the most important, and we need to come together and we need to work out these issues. But the main thing is we have to be unified. And what I have noticed is that a lot of us, like you say, you can't forget where you come from. I don't even know if it's so much as some people forget where they come from, but they feel like that's right. Thank you. They feel like they feel like it's too hard. I mean, they feel like it's just too hard. Like, hey, I got my family. It's hard enough for me to get my family in a better place. So I just don't even have the energy to fight for my community and other people. But if we all fight for each other and not just think about our own household, like it's got to go beyond our own household, because that is one of the main issues. It's like, okay, I got mine. Now you got to get yours. But even me, myself, I've had to say, yeah, you know, like, okay, I was able to get my child in a good school and a good, you know, she has a good education. But many other children are not. Like, many kids have other issues in other schools. Why every child in this city, every child in America should have the same opportunity for education. So I can't get in my little bubble and be like, oh, Lord, honey, not me, huh? Look, everybody should be afforded the same. One of my pet peeves is favoritism. And you'll probably hear me say it over and over. I can't stand it. I can't stand cliques, favoritism, none of that. I don't like that. I know some of us, we get along with each other better. Her spirit flow better with my spirit. But just because my spirit don't flow good with old girl's spirit, if she is being mistreated, I'm going to stand up for her. I'm going to fight for what's right, because that's the right thing to do. So we can't just be like in our own little bubble, like, hey, you know, my kid good. You know, my kid's doing. No, you still got to reach back and pull up your community. And so that's just like my petition. Like, can't we just be unified? Like, can we? I know it's hard. Listen, these bills that we got over here, I know it's hard, but like Wesley said, you got to be willing to sacrifice for other people, and you will be blessed. Like, if you sacrifice and help, I've never helped anybody else in my life, and something bad happened to me. Like, God have always blessed me, even when they did me wrong, y'all. And I've been done wrong. And I've been taken advantage of.
Now, Aleia,
I still was blessed.
One of the most spiritually mature people I know. You know, me and Pam aspire to get to her spiritual maturity.
I have been set free from this tomfoolery.
Right, but when you say free, I know we cutting everybody off, but hey, at the same time, even if I cut old girl off and she needs some help, I'm gonna help her out, because that's what the Bible say I need to do. And I'm not doing it because I'm gonna be blessed, but I can tell you guys my testimony that I ain't never had nothing to worry about. You know, but anybody who done did me wrong, I ain't never had nothing to worry about. You know what? God always takes care of me. So we can't just look out. I know it's hard. I mean, me and my husband, we have these conversations, and it's hard to think about helping your fellow man when you really don't feel like you have enough to help yourself. You know, it seems like it's just too hard, and it's too, you know, it's too impossible, but it's not impossible. And if we remain unified and we help each other, we can get so much done. So that's my petition. That's my little 2 cents. I just want us all to be unified. Hey, y'all want to take that statue down? I mean, y'all want to take that sign off the building? You know what I'm saying? I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? It don't bother me, you know? But at the same time, if y'all be like, Aleia, I'm just not going to do all this other stuff until we take this sign down. Hey, I'm going to go down there and help y'all take it down.
Yeah. I just want the people to be consistent and stop jumping on every bandwagon. Like, every fight is not your fight.
Right.
I know every fight is not my fight. I had to learn that. I got to trying to take on everybody else's problem. You know, y'all, I'm a ride for y'all. Y'all my people. I'm right. We fight. They want to fight. We fight.
And let me say this.
We got to do something in me. Like, be consistent. Don't just, oh, this person's doing it, I'm gonna do it. And I mean, that's the same thing with politics. Don't just jump on board because, hey, this person is doing it, I'm gonna do it. You need to do research. Like I always say, research.
And let me say this. We all need to get in the fight, but all of us have different roles in the fight. All of us have different roles in the fight. You know, and not everyone is meant to be the leader of the pack. Some people, you know, and Martin Luther King had a lot of people supporting him behind the scenes. He had a lot of people, you know, doing things that you didn't visibly see. You have to know your role, what role you play in this fight. All of us need to play a part, but not all of us can play the same part.
Right.
And then furthermore, let me say this. One of my favorite shows is Good Times. And one of my favorite episodes in Good Times is when JJ is supposed to be taking this pretty young lady to the debutante ball or something like that. And of course, she's basically a girl that lives on the good side of town. Her father has a really, really good job. And basically he's one of the fortunate blacks, and her parents, to say the least, are not very happy that, first of all, any of you that know anything about debutantes are events for bougie black people. Okay, debutantes are bougie black people. You know, black people that are a part of organizations like the Lynx and the Junior League and all that other foolishness. But anyway, yeah, it's probably some Lynx watching this. I don't care. I said it. Yeah, y'all bougie. Anyway,
oh my
parents find
disclaimer. I'm gonna start holding up a sign like while he's talking.
Anyway, it came on the other day, child. What channel came on, child? What channel came on? Anyway, I found out that they were taking this little ghetto JJ to that he had asked JJ to go to the ball. Parents came to the house, threw a whole fit, and then James and girl's father got to talking. And after talking, they discovered that the father once lived in the ghetto, the very same ghetto that James lived in now. And he was talking about how he made it out and how he busted his butt a lot of years to make it out. And I don't want my wife and my children to know nothing about the ghetto. Mm-hmm. You know, now there's nothing wrong with being successful. There's nothing wrong with making out projects. There's nothing wrong on living on the side of town where the money is. If your money allows you to do it, go for it. I'm all for it. But when you start to get an elitist attitude towards those whom you left behind, then that's when it becomes a problem. And like Aleia was talking about, don't get so high to where you forget who you left behind. Mm-hmm. what I love about Harriet Tubman is that, Harriet Tubman was already free. She could have just stayed up north and enjoyed freedom, but she kept coming back.
That's right.
She kept coming back to get other people. And
you better really, talk, brother.
And really, isn't that a lot like the God we serve?
Yes. Come on now. Bring it on home.
Lived a sinless life. Jesus lived a sinless life, which technically means, because the Bible says the wages of sin is death. So we only die because we're of sin. Jesus lived a sinless life, which technically means he could have lived forever if he wanted to.
Right.
He never had to die, but he took himself as a living sacrifice. He was in heaven. Jesus was in heaven chilling.
All right, Terry, that's right there.
Left the 99. Left the 99.
That's right.
That's exactly like God. God came down to this sinful earth.
That's it.
And died for our sins so that he could get the rest of us. To those of us that enjoy success and are living a good life, it is always worth it to go back and get those and get high, and God is going to bring you back down. And trust me, you do not want God to humble you. I promise you don't want that. I promise you don't want that.
Hey, Rosie. But yes, I mean, just to talk, because we keep saying like what we should get involved, or it goes beyond the protest, but maybe some people don't really know like what steps do I take beyond that. Some people may not know what to do, because I know, like me myself, in having my awakening, because like I said, I'm mad and motivated now. I kind of was motivated a little bit before, but it's like, now I have a little bit of fire under me, because I've been set free, like Pam said. Because I've been told in the past, like, girl, you can't save everybody. So, just worry about yourself. You can't save everybody. But guess what? I can't save everybody, but I can try. I could try. So I don't care what nobody got to say. Like, if I want to help people, because people have said that to me, like, why you do all the stuff that you do. Well, I like what I do, and I don't care. I'm set free from worry about what anybody got to say about me. So I'm do what I want to do. I'm extra mad and motivated. So I myself personally, some of the things that I have done to get involved are, I listen to the commissioner meetings. I listen to that, because that has a lot to do with, you can find a lot about what's going on in your community, the things that people are actually making decisions about that you would never know that they're even down there talking about. Listen to it. Is public. It's right there. It's on Facebook for you to look at publicly, and also get connected with, like, I know people who are very involved on the political scene who know. So if you don't know how to get involved, get connected with somebody else who know how to get involved, and they'll be happy to put you on game. There are many leaders in our community, Pastor Dominique Johnson, Shanita Davis, just to name a few, Paula Little, all the people that was on their from the protest to the polls. I mean, these are all leaders in our community who are actually doing stuff. And then, like, we talk about the Tubman, like you said, we can't just keep saying, hey, y'all don't even go to the Tubman. Let's do it. One of my clients, she made me feel so bad. She is an older lady. And she was like, Aleia, have you been to the Tubman? And I said, no, ma'am, I have not been to the Tubman. I'm being very transparent. I have not been there at all since I have now, but before then, I had not been at all since they had moved into their new location. So she told me that she was going to give me some tickets to actually go to the Tubman and to take my children to the Tubman. But I was so embarrassed anyway. I just didn't want to even take the ticket because I was embarrassed that I had not. How have I not gone to the Tubman? So I want to encourage you all to get involved in the Tubman. The things that we have that are there for us in the African American community, take advantage of that. Like somebody posted on Facebook about being involved with the NAACP here. I mean, get involved. Those are just some small ways you can get involved with. I mean, if you don't know, get connected with somebody who does.
Yeah, the Tubman is nice. I've been a couple of times.
It is nice. It is nice. It's really gorgeous.
I do a lot of making. I'm a making night. I do a lot in Atlanta. I do a lot in Savannah. But I represent home first. But I mean, hey, you can't make. You can encourage people. That's all you can do is encourage them to do better.
And like Wesley said, put your money up. Like we spending money on what's some bags you be carrying, Pam?
Girl, I know you did just do that.
Yes, y'all know they be carrying them too. What's them bags everybody like? Them Brahmin bags.
Hold on, give me 2 minutes. Hold on, I'll be right back. 2 minutes.
Hey, you remember when everybody?
No, if you
remember when everybody was supposed to be when everybody was supposed to be boycotting Gucci, and you still see folks wearing Gucci bags and
right
bags and stuff. See, but we get too much into sensationalism. But my theory is, and I'm having faith that this isn't going to come into fruition this time. My theory is that when all of this is settled, and a conviction happens, and I'm praying to God a conviction happens. I'm scared to think what happens if a conviction doesn't happen. Because if the conviction doesn't happen, folks sure look going to go blow this country up. But after the convention happens, that's going to pacify us. We're going to be pacified with a conviction. No, we do not need to be pacified by one simple conviction. We need to, until we see some laws change and the structure change, we need not be satisfied. Because anybody that knows their history knows that Martin Luther King died fighting for reparations. Mm-hmm. That's really what the Poor People's Campaign was about. The Poor People's Campaign was about reparations all day long, which is why he got killed in the first place.
Right.
And those conversations we need to start having again. Because I'll tell you something, they can afford to give everybody $1,200 stimulus checks. They can afford to pay back the reparations.
That's right. If you got money to drop on Jay's, I mean, I'm talking to myself. I've even had to tell myself that, hey, Aleia, you got to do better with your money, because I used to like to shop, honey. I used to like to shop. I never been like just so big on everything got to be name brand. But at the same time, I still used to spend a lot of unnecessary money. And, you got to be willing to take some of that money and invest it into your community and invest it into things that are actually going to bring about change.
Because we've seen that Macon-Bibb County, not one commissioner on Macon-Bibb County, including the mayor, has proven that they're willing to invest in any other part of Macon but North Macon. So if we want to see our community change, we've got to put our money up.
Okay, well, hold on. So
he just opened up a whole can of worms.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me jump in.
This is my problem. We need to stop playing scared and stop tiptoeing around stuff when we say stuff.
Listen.
God has made us say what it is.
No. Okay.
Aleia came for me with my $300 warmer bag. But let me show y'all something.
I wasn't coming for you, Steve.
Hold on, wait. So y'all done missed let me come live from the closet. Hold on. Baby, I wear a $300 bag too, but then right here, y'all see that? That Brianna Celeste Boutique, black on, baby. You see that?
Yes, plug yourself, sis. Yes. Don't buy no Brahmin. Shop with my sis.
You see that? Y'all got that?
I love it. I love it.
Vegan, y'all see that?
Vegan. They don't even kill no animals for it. It's all good. It's all good, Peter.
Got a little cocoa in there. That's all right.
One more second, Wes, and then look, boom. It just dropped. What's up? What's up? What that say, y'all?
Shop with sis. Yes, you don't even have to buy. You don't even have to buy no pink T-shirt. You can go shop with my sis.
Black on right here, my homegirl right here, Crystal Perkins. Black on bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now the polo. Y'all know my hat's gotta be.
So, you know, get involved, get educated, and invest yourself. And y'all, it starts at home. Like, teach your kids. Like, that's one thing that's another thing that I was ashamed about, because growing up, I learned in my church about Black history in my church, and in my home, my daddy had a lot of books about civil rights and all kind of things. And so I did not keep those traditions up with my children. But through all of this that has happened, it's not too late. Right. I began to talk to my children more about what happened and what has happened to me, what has happened to my family. So educate your kids. Like, I know at home, listen, I know we want to have fun and we want to look at all the reality shows and all that. But listen, let's take some time to educate our children, and so that we know that we're fighting for. We understand that there's a bigger purpose outside of just looking at TV, outside of just wearing the latest fashions, outside of just looking at the most entertaining shows. It's more to, like, we got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. We got moves to make.
That's real.
So that we can actually bring about change in our community.
What you're feeding your
mind.
In
our nation.
What you're feeding your mind, man.
Yes. I saw a post that says, "What are you feeding your mind?" And I just thought about, like, man, I working, but primarily most of my career I done worked more than one job. And I just really, my kids just did whatever. Just be quiet. Just go, long as they ain't tear up nothing. But, we really got to take time and spend time. And y'all, during this pandemic, I don't know about you guys, but I have really been trying to take the time to talk to my children about different things. And even though this situation is, it's a bad situation, but, God can bring about good. And I really feel like my family, we have gotten closer, not only just my family in my household, but my extended family. I feel like we, have gotten closer. And, we've been having more dialogue and more discussion, and it, just really turned into a good situation out of a bad situation.
It's definitely was a decent time. It was right on time.
So get involved, be unified. Like, we in this thing together. Y'all sign my petition down there. Now we're going to be unified, and we're going to work together to build our community. We ain't gonna be out here, we can disagree. We can get mad on the Facebook post and disagree, but at the end of the day, we still here, we still together, we still unified. That's what it's all about.
I want to drop this quick plug, real quick. Not gonna give away too much information right now, but we just secured 2 pastors to come on our show. Mark this date on your calendar. July 21st at 7 p.m. We hope to have a flyer out by the end of the week. We have just secured 2 pastors to talk about. We're going to call this the Church of Many Cultures. We're going to be talking about what should the church be saying about these current events coming up. And these 2 pastors, this is going to be really, really interesting. These are 2 well-known pastors in the area, and the perspectives that they're going to come from are going to be really, really interesting. So we would like to think at Real Talk that we're using our platform to do the work, to not only bring other people on to share their point of view, but to challenge those points of view. So I'm really, really excited. We just secured these pastors today. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to share with you what's coming up. This is probably going to be our most impactful episode yet. And this is gonna be really, really good.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
So continue to follow us, continue to support us on our platforms. And like Aleia said, we're just gonna keep pushing. You know, we've been doing this for almost 2 years.
Yes, we get ready to celebrate our 2-year anniversary, so stay tuned. Got some, we got some stuff coming up with that. God is good. We still together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we be falling out and stuff and get mad at each other. But guess what? We still together. Look at God.
Look at him, y'all.
Yes, we are still together.
Water, y'all see my water?
Yes.
Through many days and years, we have already come here.
Well, thank y'all so much for tuning into our little pop-up convo tonight.
Yes, it was fun.
We hope y'all enjoyed it, and we hope that you are motivated to make change in your community. Y'all tell everybody to fill out their census.
Yes.
And let's make this thing. Let's do some things. Let's make some moves.
Yes, we got early voting coming up and regular.
Oh yes,
early voting.
Yes. Please, please vote in the mayoral runoff, and I keep forgetting what district it is that's runoff. But if you live in that district, runoff. If you vote in that.
Pam's district. Pam, what's your district?
Girl, don't be dropping my plugs where I live at.
No, ain't nobody. Girl, your information is public knowledge.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I moved to Mars, dog.
Hey, I ain't worried about it. Everything is public, so.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, y'all don't forget to vote.
Please.
And put your money where your mouth is. Support these causes.
Stay there. Support these causes.
That's right. Shop black on. Shop black on. If you can help it.
Yeah.
All right,
y'all. Well, we're out. Y'all have a good night and the rest of the week, and we will see you next time.
All right. Deuces.